The hell? Is that a 12 valve Cummins? Yeah. I don't know. My zoom actually worked that time. This is like take 3 of this video because my phone doesn't like this thing called, what do they call that? Electricity. Or maybe it doesn't, well, it loves it. It just doesn't like to keep it inside of itself. Like the battery says, oh, hey, Chase, you're trying to charge your phone. That's great. But listen, here's what's going to happen. I'm not going to keep that in me very long. So good luck with that. So even plugged in, my old phone used to be able to get plugged in, and as you were charging it, you could walk around and record. Well, this one evidently doesn't work that way. So we're going to try to get through this quick before that BS happens again. Anyway, I got to order some orders here, and I'll separate them. These here are Geno's Garage. All this here is Moog. Even, yeah, this one's even Moog. Says so. My frickin' camera doesn't like focusing, I guess. Cool. Fantastic. It's focusing earlier. Now I'm just upset. Anyway, it's Moog. It's just a private label CarQuest Moog product. And what's actually cool about this is when you go to RockAuto, because that's where I got all this stuff here, inner and outer tie rods on both ends. I think it's a idler arm or whatever you call this bad boy for your steering gearbox. All my separate, I had 3 orders. They give you those cool things in there, I guess. They're kind of cool. I don't know. Magnets. Still, phone isn't focusing. That's awesome. But, yeah, I got the stabilizer shock too. What's cool about like these private label ones, say this one here, I believe it's this, would normally cost $40. Can anybody guess how much I paid for this? Just because it's a private label and they're getting rid of them all. Paid $7.45, and then of course there's only a 30-day warranty, but it's $7.45. If that goes out, it's not that hard to replace. So that's how I look at it. It was cheap enough. Then this here, Geno's Garage. It's actually funny because they're in Cummins, Georgia, I believe. And they do mostly Cummins stuff. Kind of cool, I thought. And then this here is only partial order from PureDieselPower. This is a solid steel industrial manufacturing. 3rd gen Dodge Ram track bar conversion kit for a 2nd gen Dodge Ram. And it's nice, thick, beefy plate. I gotta say, that's, I don't know, $600 so thick. It's pretty thick. Welds are freaking nice. I believe it's powder coated. They're a little chipped, but I don't know much about powder coating. I know it's good and it resists damage quite well, but I mean, the bolts could be packaged a little bit better because I think there's actually a washer floating around here somewhere now, but that's besides the point. It pretty much bolts to the frame rail, and it just converts your 2nd gen to a 3rd gen track bar, which they are said to be not affected by the death wobble issue that really plagues 2nd generation Dodges. A lot of people, from what I've seen, still have issues with it, so I guess maybe it's not here. It's neither here nor there, or whatever. But yeah, stuff is weird. It's bubble wrap with adhesive on the back. I don't know. So there's that. I'm still waiting on my Carli track bar. I believe, yeah, obviously it's a 3rd gen, but I don't know. I think it's adjustable just because that's the only way they make it. Not that I wanted adjustable because my truck doesn't have a lift, but whatever. I got a Rancho. It's an RS 5404. I believe it's a RS 9000 series. I don't know. I'm assuming. It's got a lot of different advertisement on the package. I don't know. Maybe mine's just the, since it's an RS54. So yeah, mine's just like an RS 5000. Should have got an RS7, but whatever. Then here I got energy suspension polyurethane. I believe it's 33 millimeter sway bar bushings, and then the brackets come with it. And then if I can get this box open, these are max suspension, max end links. Really heavy duty compared to factory. Mine are like really messed up. Mine are bent, I believe, on both sides. Geno's gives you a cool little keychain with that stuff. You know what the funny thing is I turned these on, and since I've turned that on, my phone hasn't focused. The other two videos it focused on everything. Now that I got these on, it doesn't focus. Those are the boxes for the RockAuto orders. But yeah, I'm wondering if the fluorescent light isn't messing with my phone. But one word on RockAuto, even though you can't friggin' zoom in or, focus. They do pack their stuff really well, because this is for, I believe this was just maybe these two or just this one. They packed a whole bunch of this stuff. This here all came just from my shock, which was in this box here. And then I actually opened this up to make sure there was everything in there. And they had 3 of these things in there. I actually had to pop the one because I couldn't get it in there. So they obviously know how to wrap stuff up after they take it apart. But yeah, that's inner and outer tie rods. I believe the idler arm. I think I'm calling it the wrong thing. I think the idler arm is the part that bolts to the frame on rear wheel drive trucks. I cannot remember what that's called. Pitman arm. It's right on the box. And then stabilizer, steering stabilizer shock, track bar conversion kit, and the track bar is still coming. I actually think that solid steel, yeah, I think they say, well, actually I think those are made to order. I know something from solid steel is made to order. I think that was the track bar, that's why I didn't get it. But the Carli track bar I think might be made to order too, so that might be why it's taking so long. But otherwise, that's all I'm waiting on, because I've got everything else. And I couldn't afford to do brakes like pads and rotors and all the ball joints and wheel bearings like I wanted to, along with U-joints. I don't know if I said that already, but couldn't afford that, so I didn't do it. But my dad said he wants me to get all the stuff done, so he might be able to loan me some money until I can find myself a job. Because as in this video find out, it's Cummins GST and General Life update. I recorded on 6/30. That's going to be released on the 7th. Or maybe I'll let it upload today so then I can upload this today. I don't know. I'm just trying to upload like videos that are older and get them in sync with how they should be. Because I got a lot of videos, I just haven't had a lot of time to upload them. And probably make a video on this engine here. This is my 2.3 liter stroker I built at school for engine machining, which is what I went to school for and what I graduated from and what I'm looking to go get into as far as working goes. It just hasn't happened, which sucks. So I'm actually kind of, I'm not trying to advertise, but I'm trying to get the word out that I am an engine machinist, what would you call that? There's a special name for machinists that are just starting out, like a beginning machinist that's just looking for a shop to start up at and learn the ropes of working in an actual shop. Just looking for something like that. Preferably would like to stay around Minnesota, but you can't pick it all, win it all. So you just got to go with where you can go. So if anybody knows of a shop around Minnesota or outside of Minnesota or anything, just hit me up. Because any kind of a job lead would be awesome. I'm actually close to now going down to the Minneapolis, Twin Cities type area of Minnesota and just stopping at different machine shops looking for a job, and then after that I'm probably just gonna end up staying at my uncle's house. He lives in like St. Paul, and just working with him in construction, which I know nothing about, and I don't know if I would do very good there, but I mean it pays, so I might just have to, just because I'm making literally no money and I'm broke. I mean, after I'll admit it, all this stuff here is about $999 and some change. So it took every last bit of money I have. I think I have 100, maybe 200 and some dollars left to my name, so it's gonna be something else. Thank God I have my parents to help me out, and I mean that. Thank God, literally. But I'm gonna get back to making some more videos and uploading some more, so you guys can see some more stuff from me. Definitely make up a video of this, because I'll just say it, this video, that engine there needs to have the rod bolts stretched right, because they're torqued to stretch or something like that. You have to stretch the rod bolts instead of just torquing them to a specified torque. You clamp them with like you hold the rod, tap it on with a hammer to seat, and then you torque the bolts like 3 times to like 25 foot-pounds. Just torque, loosen, torque, loosen, torque, loosen, just to seat it properly. Then you torque it to like 35 foot-pounds each, and then you get a breaker bar on there, and you set up like an angle gauge, which I actually have sitting over here somewhere. I just bought one. I didn't know they actually existed on their own. I thought you just used like a snap-on wrench like I was trying to use with the built-in angle, which sucked and it didn't work for crap. And so yeah, I got one of those, and all you pretty much do is put your socket on that, put it on there, set a stop on it, and then you just measure your degrees as you go. And you need a rod bolt stretch gauge. ARP sells a nice one. And you just measure the bolt before it's stretched, put it in, do all that, torque it, and then do the angle that they call for it, measure it. And if it isn't in the specification, I think those bolts are 3/8 ARP 2000, so they take it's like a 2.5 to 5,000 stretch. So I mean it's pretty big area. I mean it's 2.5 thou difference between, and that's quite a big, quite a big difference in stretch. But it takes a long time because you have to lube the bolts every time you torque it. So you have to, when you do the torque, the 25 on each side just to seat it, you have to pull them out, lube them, put it in, torque them, pull them out, lube them, do that every single time, then take them out. Finally, for the final, you do that, and you don't have to re-lube them before the angle. But yeah, and then if you don't have, like me, you don't have the torque, or the angle gauge, or not the angle gauge. Well, I didn't have an angle, but if you don't have an angle gauge and then you don't have a stretch gauge, you're screwed. I'm actually probably going to have to end up buying new bolts, because I don't remember what the factory bolt stretch is, and I may have tried, I've tried torquing almost all of them, I think, and it just wasn't working. But they're Oliver rods, Oliver Turbo Build Extreme rods, and they say that you add like 2 degrees for every single time that you don't meet your stretch. So you got to add 2 degrees, then check it. If it doesn't do it, you go through all the steps over and get it until you get your 5 thou or whatever. But that's another video. So I'm gonna get some videos uploaded for you guys. Take it easy.